It has been 1,618 days since the last time we saw a Galaxy phone beat an iPhone in a battery test. It was against the iPhone XS Max, but ever since the iPhone 11 Pro series, the iPhone has remained undefeated. But today, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is looking to finally change that, with it having the all-new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip under the hood on all S24 Ultra variants. It's got a new and more efficient M13 based display, and it still has that huge 5,000 mAh battery. Of course, the iPhone has never needed a big old battery to compete. It's only 4,441 mAh, with the iPhone's 3nm A17 Pro chip, along with the iOS's optimizations, being enough for it to get the job done time and time again. Will Apple's contentment with a smaller battery finally cost it that top spot in our rankings, or will the iPhone's reign continue? Let's find out. Alright, so we'll start off with the phone test, where each device is going on the same 1-hour phone call. There's really not a whole lot to this test. It's mainly the phone screens being off for the majority of the time, with us playing consistent audio back on the other end of the call and having both phones within equal distance of our mini cell tower, where after 60 minutes, the Galaxy drops down to 98, while the iPhone is still reporting 100%. Here in messaging, I'm curious to see if the Galaxy's new display is actually going to be any more efficient, since outside of us texting back and forth with our automated chatbot, the single biggest factor when it comes to battery drain here is going to be the display itself. And 60 minutes later, in terms of percentage at least, the two phones perform identically, with each dropping by 6 percentage points. But with the Galaxy having a larger battery than the iPhone, technically it was less efficient, with it consuming an estimated 300 mAh of its capacity, while the iPhone consumed only 266 mAh. The Galaxy is pushing more pixels than the iPhone though, with it having a 24% higher native resolution, which, at least in part could explain the delta. But either way, after an hour of opening and scrolling through the same set of emails, both phones dropped by an equal percentage once again, this time by only 5 points. So as we work on the browser test, the iPhone is still holding on to that early lead. The Galaxy obviously is right there behind it, and given that this test is the most CPU intensive one we've done so far, with each phone cycling through the same set of websites, if that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 could be a little bit more efficient than the iPhone's A17 Pro, the Galaxy has a shot at making up some ground, where after an hour, wow, the Galaxy not only makes the comeback, but it actually takes the lead for the first time in this test, with it doing 4 points better than the iPhone, putting it at 81%, while the iPhone drops down to 79. Now, what was interesting there is that the Galaxy technically used up less of its battery capacity than the iPhone, with it consuming an estimated 300 mAh, while the iPhone used 444. Obviously, these are just estimates based off of the percentage indicator. We don't actually know the exact decimal point and how accurate these indicators are, but nonetheless, it's good news for the Galaxy. But after an hour of scrolling through Instagram this time, the iPhone is able to recover a bit, with it pulling back within 1 point as we move on to the all-important standby test, where we're simply turning the displays off on each phone and then letting them sit there for 16 hours straight. Now, if you think about it, most of the time your phone's display is off, whether it's in your pocket or sitting there on your desk. So testing standby is an absolute must, where the Galaxy improves on its lead, doing it 3 points better, giving it the biggest lead in this entire test so far, with it pulling 4 points ahead of the iPhone as we work on YouTube. Now, it's always worth noting here that the displays on both phones have been calibrated to 200 nits, and that these speakers have also been calibrated to the same decibel level. So everything is as fair as we can possibly make it here, where 1 hour of binging some PhoneBuff later, the phones match each other's performance once again, with each dropping by 9 points. Here in Alto's Adventure, we're actively playing the game, we're not just letting it sit there, which allows us not only to keep the game going, but it also helps account for things like input processing. Alto's isn't the most GPU intensive game out there, but the phones still do have to render those graphics and play the in-game audio, and doing so continuously for an hour leads the Galaxy to do better once again, dropping by only 8 points compared to the iPhone's 10-point drop. I was kind of expecting the iPhone to make a comeback there since that's what it's done in the past, but the S24 Ultra now sits on, I think, the biggest lead a Galaxy phone has had on the iPhone since before the iPhone 11 Pro, with it only improving on that lead after an hour of simulated navigation, pulling a full 7 points ahead as we work on Spotify. Now, this Spotify test is an area where Galaxy phones have typically struggled in the past. I've always suspected that it was due to the earpieces on the Galaxy phones, with them being super thin and not really well ventilated like it is on the iPhone, which, because we calibrate the speakers to the same levels, technically it would make the Galaxy's earpiece have to work harder just to match the volume. It's kind of like how you would have to speak louder if you had something covering your mouth. But after an hour, it actually wasn't too bad, with the iPhone only doing 1 point better, which still gives the Galaxy a 6-point advantage here in Snapchat, which is easily the most intensive task that we've done so far, with the camera sensors running continuously, the microphone and the storage being taxed as we record a clip, the speakers being put to use as we review the clip, and then Wi-Fi being used as we upload each clip to Snap's servers, where after an hour of doing this on a loop, the iPhone does make up some ground with it doing 2 points better. So as we enter the last test here in App Cycle, the Galaxy is still holding on to a 4-point lead. This is actually the first time we've seen a Galaxy phone enter the App Cycle with the lead, and it may just be enough for it to dethrone the iPhone at the top of our battery test rankings. Of course, this test is an area where the iPhone has typically been more efficient, with us opening and closing the same set of apps on a continuous loop. And 1 hour later, oh man, it is getting close. The iPhone has cut down the Galaxy's 4-point lead down to 2, with both phones having less than 10%. Another 30 minutes into the test, and it's even closer now, with the Galaxy at 4%, with the iPhone right there behind it at 3%. So I don't know if the Galaxy is going to be able to hold on here. And another 10 minutes in, the iPhone is able to complete the comeback, with both phones hanging on with just 1% remaining. Now, at this point, I think it's worth noting that both phones are absolute beasts when it comes to battery life. I mean, we're over 27 hours and 42 minutes into this thing, and both of them are still going, which is just crazy. But there you go, the Galaxy dies first, with the iPhone being able to last just 2 minutes longer itself before it also dies, bringing the total time to 27 hours and 43 minutes for the Galaxy and 27 hours and 45 minutes for the iPhone, which, considering the difference between them is just 1/10 of a percentage, as much as we pride ourselves on accuracy, this is well within the margin of error, making this battery test a tie and really a win for consumers. Anyways, that is it for me in this video. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the very next episode.